It's just a blessing, like it saved lives.
Parish leaders say they also hope it stops deadly accidents like the one that killed Ryan Marchand. A car hit the 14-year-old while he was riding a skateboard near West Metairie Avenue. Skaters for public skate parks track skateboard accidents. They say in 2015, 26 skateboarders died in accidents across the U.S. They claim none of them happened inside of a skate park.
That's precisely one of the dangers that this prevents, is to find a concentrated area where these young men and women and young boys and girls can do the activity they want to do in a very controlled, very safe environment.
Connor Lewis wrote a letter to officials asking for a park 3 years ago.
I was just writing to Mr. Dominic, and I said, I went to Baton Rouge to go to a skate park, and I was like, why don't we have one in Kenner? And 3 years later, there's a skate park here.
Kenner's mayor sees these fancy moves as a chance to increase city revenue.
If you have the ability to expand it, it would be something that we would look at. That is it something we can actually attract people from all over the area, and be something that we have tournaments here and things like that. That would be great.
Now, leaders tell us this is just phase 1 of the park. They're hoping to get more money to start on phase 2 and possibly a phase 3. Now, we can tell you that phase 2 will help them extend this skate park to make it even bigger. Live from Kenner, Tammy Eswick for WDSU News.
Tammy, thank you. And new tonight, the lawyer for Dr. Ali Sadehi is speaking out about the issue of fake subpoenas surrounding the district attorney's office. Dr. Sadehi was involved in a high-profile voyeurism case. He was found not guilty on all 4 counts back in March. Today, Dr. Sadehi's lawyer, Mike Magner, released a statement which reads in part, quote, Dr. Sadehi strenuously objected the district attorney's use of the fraudulent DA subpoenas during trial, and the trial judge was clearly upset concerning the use of this fraudulent practice, unquote. The DA acknowledged the findings by Court Watch NOLA that fake subpoenas were issued and said the practice will stop right away. Also new at 10 tonight, a pre-trial hearing for the man accused of killing a woman in a deadly Lamborghini crash. Police say Jason Adams was drunk and going 118 miles per hour when he crashed into a flood wall last year, killing 23-year-old Christy Lorette. Well, today the judge is allowing the defense to recall officers who responded to the crash site and hospital the night of the accident. Adams is expected to go on trial May 8th, but that could change as the assistant district attorney working the case is leaving office.
Police need your help finding a woman they say has made threats of harming herself. Police say Michelle Bueno was last seen yesterday afternoon at the corner of Cameron Boulevard and Rapides Drive in Gentilly. She was last seen driving a 2003 blue Dodge Durango, Louisiana plate H368890. If you know where to find her, you're asked to contact police. Also tonight, police say nearly a half dozen rapes reported across New Orleans this week are not connected, but they do have something in common. In 5 of the cases, the suspects are listed as in police reports as unknown men, a person the victim cannot name or identify by an address. It happened in the 7th Ward, the Upper 9th, in New Orleans East, Uptown, and in the CBD. Vivian Rose lives near the most recent alleged rape reported at 3:30 this morning at St. Claude in Poland. She says people in her neighborhood usually walk in groups after dark.
To me, if you're not doing that, there's something wrong, because these people have, I've been coming here for 20, 30 years, and it's the same people living here that lived there since the kindergarten. So it's just something you do.
Police have made the arrest in the Uptown case, and the suspect turned out to be a relative that the young girl could not name. If you can help police make an arrest in any of the other cases, contact Crime Stoppers. That number, 504-822-1111.
And the New Orleans Firefighters Union is planning to stage a rally tomorrow against the department's top man, Superintendent Tim McConnell. This stems from the firefighters' involvement in the removal of Confederate-era monument earlier this week. The union has called for a stop to this as the city moves forward with removing 3 more Confederate-era monuments. So this strongly worded flyer went out today. It calls on all union members and others to come to the 10 a.m. picket at the firehouse on Decatur. Here's a portion of a statement released by the union. It says here in part, quote, firefighters say they are picketing tomorrow as a result of their frustration with the continued poor decisions of Superintendent McConnell. His decision to place firefighters in the middle of such a divisive issue, despite the existence of known potential threats, has exposed our members to unnecessary risks. To this end, they will make an announcement tomorrow about the NOFD leadership.
Now to Baton Rouge, where a House bill would require officers to undergo even more training. Under House Bill 277, officers will have to complete 400 hours of basic training and 20 hours of in-service training to keep their law enforcement certification. The Council on Peace Officer Standards and Training would also have to develop a program training police on de-escalation, bias, and crisis intervention. Next week, an opioid prevention bill will be up for debate at the state capitol. The measure unanimously cleared the State House of Representatives Health and Welfare Committee on Thursday. Representative Helena Moreno's bill would allow physicians to prescribe only 7 days worth of opioid painkillers. The St. Tammany Parish coroner doesn't think that's a good idea, saying, quote, "It is a concern to me when the legislature begins to dictate how medicine should be practiced. I think this is best accomplished by the judgment of experienced physicians. The 7-day limit on medications is arbitrary and may not be appropriate for someone with a fracture, a burn, or a kidney stone." Tomorrow's National Drug Take Back Day, an initiative to safely dispose of prescription drugs that are expired, unused, or unwanted. Most abused prescription drugs are obtained from family and friends, including from the home medicine cabinet. As part of our State of Addiction project, WDSU has joined the Drug Enforcement Agency for this year's event. To find a drop-off site near you, just head to the WDSU app and click the State of Addiction tab. Also remember to remove any personal information from those bottles before drop-off.
And happening tomorrow, a community center aimed at helping people reach higher and dream bigger. The Life Transformation Center will open its doors in the Holly Grove Dixon neighborhood. The program is a ministry of Celebration Church, and the center will provide senior citizen and after-school programs, classes on computer literacy, financial literacy, and job skills. The grand opening is tomorrow from 1 to 3 p.m. at the new center, which is located on 8606 Mark Street. Everyone in the neighborhood encouraged to come out and help celebrate the grand opening and check out how the center will improve the neighborhood. Also happening tomorrow is the Jefferson Parish Surplus Auction. Some of the items that will be auctioned off include vehicles, computers, office supplies, and furniture no longer in use by the parish. These are pictures from last year's event. The auction is open to the general public. Registration starts at 7 a.m. The first item will be auctioned off at 9 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, happening at 920 David Drive in Metairie.
If you're planning on seeing George Benson at Jazz Fest this weekend, sorry, you're out of luck. He's unable to take the stage on Sunday, so Benson has been replaced by Maceo Parker, who will perform at 5:40 at the Zatarain's Jazz Tent. Today, the Jazz Fest kicked off at the fairgrounds. Today, Nas, Soul Rebels, Aaron Neville, Kermit Ruffin's among the performers. Music cranks up again tomorrow morning with artists like Maroon 5 and Usher performing. The 7-day festival wraps up next weekend. And a parking warning for you tonight if you're headed to Jazz Fest. Officers will be out in full force monitoring people who are parked illegally, so make sure you don't block hydrants, driveways, and sidewalks. Don't park within 20 feet of a crosswalk, and they measure that stuff. Crosswalk, intersection, or a stop sign. Stay more than 20 feet away. And remember to park in the direction of travel on one-way streets. Still ahead, sometimes there are images that we just can't turn away from. This is one of those. What caused a Jeep to flip across the interstate, ejecting the driver? I'll tell you how this all ended.
Yikes. Also, it is allergy season. Are you suffering with allergies? Well, so are pets. They have a hard time dealing with pollen as well. Coming up, we'll tell you about the symptoms and treatment.
And we've got a whole lot going on this weekend. Part of the weekend looks good, part of the weekend looks bad. I've got the timing.
The town of Grand Isle is under a state of emergency as a levee protecting it washes away.
A half-mile section in the levee needs emergency repairs. It protects the Gulf of Mexico side of the island from storm surge during hurricanes. A popular beach, which is a moneymaker for the town, is also eroding there. And local and state leaders are looking for a more permanent fix for the levee, which they say needs repairs every 6 months. And they want federal funding for it, but Barrier only qualifies for that if the island is hit by a Category 3 hurricane.
It's time for the government to step up to the plate and change the laws. We're under emergency. What I'm seeing here, what's going on right now, in the next few days, it's only going to get worse. And this should have been fixed right from day one. But the Corps left us in a mess.
The mayor says he wants rocks placed in the Gulf to reduce the force of the waves pounding on the levee.
Now at 10, Congressman Cedric Richmond is speaking out about the investigation into the Alton Sterling shooting. Sterling was gunned down by police outside of a convenience store in Baton Rouge last summer. In a letter to the U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions, Richmond raised concerns about the lack of transparency in the civil rights investigation in the case. Richmond issued a statement saying in part, quote, Rumors are circulating that local law enforcement has been informed of a specific timeline for an announcement. Schools and other organizations are expending funds to prepare for a Tuesday announcement. The Department of Justice's failure to communicate with the community has created angst and nervousness. It is the height of the allergy season, and you may not be the only one suffering with pollen.
No. Do you have allergies?
Yes.
I do. I have really bad cases
Not
of
right
allergies
now, not at the
sometimes.
moment, thank goodness.
Well, it turns out your dog might also be experiencing discomfort this time of the year. I talked to a local vet who has some tips on the symptoms you should look out for. My story's all new tonight at 10.
Painful to see, this was Allie's paw 2 years ago.
So she was chewing herself because she was itching so much.
Chewing, itching, and scratching.
And so she had chewed her back paw. I mean, all the hair was gone. It was pretty much to the muscle.
Dr. Ned Henry at the Crescent City Veterinary Hospital sees dogs like Allie quite often this time of the year. 60% of his cases are pet allergies.
They walk through the pollen, so it gets up between the pads, and so they're chewing the bottoms of their feet.
Feet, ears, and groin are commonly affected areas in dogs, so Dr. Henry says pay close attention if they start scratching excessively. He says pet allergies are prevalent in southeast Louisiana because of the long pollen season.
We have more allergies, more mosquitoes, so we have more heartworms, more general parasites.
Today, Allie is doing well. Her paw is healed, and she is on immunotherapy, which costs roughly $100 every 2 months or so. But Allie was a difficult case. Sometimes an antihistamine will do the trick.
Very often they respond well to antihistamines and shampoos.
Which is why it's important to take them to the vet if the itching gets severe. You never know if they're suffering in silence.
And that is the daycare at the Crescent City Veterinary Hospital in Uptown. Interesting fact here in dogs with white fur, the doctor